30 years ago, I was 10. We didn't even have household internet. So you'd like put a cassette tape in. And then when a song you wanted came on the radio, you would record it on your cassette tape. That's how we made mixtapes.
Yep.
Facts.
So that's like, yeah.
But to that point, though, I think gaming is just finally catching up to the rest of the media and the way that we consume it. That's why Game Pass is suddenly such a big thing. I mean, Humble Monthly was around for the longest time, but it did not have anywhere near the traction that a service like, Game Pass from one of the biggest game developers and platforms in the world. Like it's interesting. It's cool I think it's cool to see it change a little bit. So, related to that exact topic we just had, do y'all think that we should pay full price for games, or do you wait for games to go on sale, or is there a moral decision that goes into which one of the two is better? What are your thoughts on that? Start with Pucho. I know that Pucho has lots of strong opinions about damn near everything.
Normally, I don't care too much about what price people purchase their games. I typically have some people, some developers, things like that I'm just like, all right, cool. Edmund McMillan, you're gonna make a game, I'm gonna buy that shit ASAP, full price, because I love your games, and even though they're not all great, they're unique, and I want to buy that game. So there's definitely games where I just refuse to buy them on sale. I just want to buy them day one because I feel like I owe it to them. Like Rocket League, I got it for free on PS Plus. I made it an effort to purchase every single DLC that came out because I'm like, I've got like I think that and Overwatch are my most played games. I have like 600 hours on Rocket League, and I got the game for free. And it's one of my favorite games. I was just playing it the other day. It's like 7 years old, and I'm still playing it. You know what I mean?
I still fire that up for 5 minutes every like couple weeks or so, and just play a couple of rounds. Like,
it's good. Yeah. So I don't know. Fuck all them people that make that want to shit on the Game Pass people. They go eat a fucking dick. Fuck it. It's a service. It's here to stay, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you view it. I have my opinions on it. I feel like the whole discount, especially with the Steam sales, all that shit. I think it changed the way people make games, and it changed movies, it changed music, even like just the streaming. Right, albums are short now. Like it's not common that albums are long. Songs are short because they want more streams. Like so, it's like that's gonna factor into whatever the however the fuck Game Pass is paying developers to put their games on there. It's going to impact how they make games, like for better or for worse, whatever that means. But fuck it. I mean, it's capitalism, baby. It's there. We're gonna pay for whatever the fuck we think is worth it. And it's up to the people that are making this stuff to react accordingly. And
in that same line of thought, I've said this on the podcast before. This is a belief that I stand by. I think that the only thing that really matters for the average person in the world is where you spend your damn money, right? That's the only real. That's one of the biggest impacts that we have. I think voting's important. I think that where you spend your money is important. I think those are two principles in my life. So I do think, much like Pucho, there are certain developers that I will just straight up buy day one. Like I'd want them to make more of that. So that's where I get into the moral aspect of it. I think that if it's a developer you enjoy, they make good games you enjoy, maybe it would behoove you to pay the full price just so they see those day one sales and they can be like, okay, we are making content that people want. And they're not having to look at 12 months down the line when the Steam winter sale happens and then people are like, oh, 50% off, that's the price I want. Now I can finally play this game.
I think it's good in a sense that in the past 10 years, we've seen a lot of games try to go way too big beyond their scope. Everything had to be open world this last 10 years. If you think about it, what game didn't try to go open world? Not all of it needs to be open world, though.
Those are the buzzwords now. It's open world, roguelite.
Yeah, well, roguelite's my favorite type of game. And when you describe a roguelite, you're usually describing an indie game, which has not so many things to hit, and they hit it perfectly. which is why I like roguelites in indie games, is that they're a smaller vision and they're aiming for this one thing and they have certain bars to hit, and as long as they hit those bars, they made the game they were trying to make. When you're making an open world game where you have driving mechanics, fighting mechanics, stealth mechanics, all these mechanics mixed into one, if you don't get it right, you're asked the fuck out. Your game sucks. It's just not gonna catch people in the right manner. But I think there has been like good usage. I think if Xbox continues to grow the way that we are consuming all of our other media streaming wise, we are taking in Netflix, the way we're taking in Apple Music or Spotify, and the way we consume podcasts, we're consuming it in a way where we're not paying per episode, per stream, you know what I mean, per stream. Before we used to buy the album. Now you don't have to buy the album. If you want to buy the album, which I do so I could put on my turntable, you have that option. But you don't necessarily need to buy things anymore to experience them. And I expect games, whether it be good or bad for it, I think it's good because I think you got to bring scopes down a little bit. And I think once you start to do that, it's healthy.
I think you're right. I think you covered it. The way that we consume media has changed completely. Like you go take a time machine back 30 years ago and go tell someone on the street, it's like, in the future, we're not even going to buy any albums. All music would just come directly into your ears. you have unlimited music in your pocket. Like, blow their mind. The way that we consume media has completely changed. It used to be a flex to pull out that big like CD binder from under your seat and have all the options for music to put on for the drive.
You'd
We
put
didn't
my
even
My
have,
six CD
like-
changer in my car was a flex. Okay,
That's a flex.
6 CD changer in my car. All right, and
I
thought it
had
was
one
the
of
greatest
those.
thing.
I had one of those too.
I
did.
have the honors of saying that I created some of the bangers for that.
I
album,
would say
right?
like 85% of the bangers were straight from Doey's computer, straight from the
Damn.
Pirate Bay.
Allegedly.
I
Allegedly.
mean, 30 years ago, I was 10. We didn't even have household internet. So you'd like put a cassette tape in. And then when a song you wanted came on the radio, you would record it on your cassette tape. That's how we made mixtapes.
Yep.
Facts.
So that's
school.
like, yeah.
But to that point, though, I think gaming is just finally catching up to the rest of the media and the way that we consume it. That's why Game Pass is suddenly such a big thing. I mean, Humble Monthly was around for the longest time, but it did not have anywhere near the traction that a service like, Game Pass from one of the biggest game developers and platforms in the world. Like it's interesting. It's cool I think it's cool to see it change a little bit.
I mean, I still buy records. Like I have 3 boxes of like vinyl records. I still buy albums. I still buy movies. I buy video games. It's what I'm used to. Like that's just, I mean, it's what I'm used to. I have subscription services. I've got streaming services. I have Game Pass. I mean, a lot of business is adapt or die. I love gaming and I'm going to adapt to whatever I have to adapt to in order to game. I have no judgment on how people spend their money. It's their money to spend. That ain't my business. I just love video games. I'll buy it if I want to buy. If I got to stream it, however I got to get it, I'm gonna get it. So I'll buy. I'll stream. I just want to enjoy stuff. The Game Pass is great. Buying games is great. Having one system is great. Multiple systems is great. Just do you have fun and don't worry about how somebody else be spending their money.
Yeah.
Do you have any concerns like some of these loud people on the internet that Game Pass might kill some gaming quality and kill some aspect of gaming culture?
I mean,
do you think Game Pass is a good thing for indie developers or a bad thing?
I mean, I honestly don't know the numbers. I don't know what developers are getting paid. But I know that I can still walk into a Walmart and there are aisles of DVDs and CDs that people still buy. I mean, people are still consuming them this many years later. I think it's good. I don't know. I mean, it's possible. Sure, it's possible that making games multi-plat can change the way they're optimized. it's possible that budgets can change. They can go bigger or smaller. Anything's possible. I just, I, I have a curiosity of the business side. I mean, I love business. I'm curious about that, but I'm not going to let that interfere with how much I love gaming. It is what it is. If changes get made that I don't like, which happens, I'm going to try to find a way to enjoy the medium as best I can. But I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of on the I've heard both sides, and I think both sides have very respectable opinions. I do understand the fear-based stuff, and I really do truly understand both sides. I think both sides are reasonable, and I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
So I told all those reasonable people to go eat it. No, I don't know. I kind of view the people that are like so afraid of Game Pass. Mind you, this is coming from one of the number one PlayStation fanboys. Okay, I'm 99 point. I've never owned an Xbox ever. Like I got a Nintendo console and my PlayStation. And I pay for Game Pass because I think it's a cool service. And
yeah, but you PC game though. You game on a PC.
I play games on PC as well.
So like, if you play on a PC, I don't have a PC, so I need a Series X. But you technically you are consuming that. You're just doing it on different hardware, in my opinion.
Sure. But I guess I'm saying like historically, I've never played Gears of War. I played Halo 1 for the first time in 2021. You know what I mean? Like I just totally missed the boat on everything Microsoft made. And I'm a supporter of Game Pass and what they're doing. And I don't know, I kind of view like the people that are like so afraid of Game Pass and the impacts that it's going to have on gaming and stuff like that. I kind of feel like it's like the guy complaining that like a car was invented and now like the horse messenger guy is going to lose his job because now it's going to be like a car messenger. And it's just like shit changes like as time moves on, technology changes, and our solutions to problems are going to change, and then the market is going to adapt to this new stuff. I haven't bought a physical game in over 7 years. Like I just purely digital. Right?
2017 for me, Horizon Zero Dawn was when I was like, I'm never buying a physical media ever again, and I just started moving into digital only.
I guess mine might be 2019. That's the last time I bought a PS4 game because my PS5 is all digital. My computer obviously doesn't even have an optical drive anymore.
I buy as much as I can physical. There's something I'm just used to it, like the sound of the cellophane, the little snap when you open it.
I miss smelling the fucking game.
The only thing I will say about I haven't used Game Pass a lot. I don't play a lot of games. I just don't have the time. If I did have the time and I could play a fuck ton of games, Game Pass would be, so I don't play a lot of games. So for me, it might be it might be more cost efficient to say, I'm just going to buy a $70 game and play it 40 fucking times because that's what Cystal does. But if you like have the time to say, I'm going to play 5 fucking games this month, it's a great value. It's not going to be for everybody. That's okay. I
think that the thing that scares me, this is a little bit of a tangent, but I think that like this is the little bit of boomer scare in me that I have with some of the ways that gaming is changing, is the combination of services like Game Pass with this moving idea that a lot of game developers have of games as a service being the model going forward. Just these forever games, basically, this metaverse idea that's fostering. I've got some concerns about that. I've got concerns about the potential of us just being in microtransaction hell for games that we never actually own, that could be removed from a game service at any time. And then you've got digital nonsense that isn't good for nothing else.
I totally understand that. I have some of those same. The concern is there for sure for me.
There's this.
I feel you.
There's this game I saw the other day on Steam. I was looking for something new to play. And this game is called Craftopia. And this game is ridiculous. If you get a chance, go look at a trailer, go read a description of it, because this is the everything game. This game is Minecraft. It's got Pokemon in it. It's got Monster Hunter vibes. It's got Breath of the Wild. Like there's a straight up like just a thing that you hold and you glide across caverns. And it's every single game. There's fishing in it. It's just every game mashed into one. It's everything you could ever possibly want. And I've heard it's one of the most jankiest gaming experiences in the world because they're just trying to cram everything into there.
I don't know. I definitely have my concerns when it comes to like Game Pass being like the main thing. I guess I have two thoughts because I also wanted to comment on the whole microtransaction thing. I would hope that people would spend their money in such a way that, like you said, where we spend our money says almost everything about what we feel about things. And if there's a game that we feel do it the wrong way, I would hope that we don't buy into it and that gets removed from the market. Like Rocket League is in microtransaction hell. It's got the fucking loot boxes. It's got the keys. It's got there's like 17 different currencies in that game, and I don't give a fuck. I just want to keep fucking scoring goals on people and watching the whole entire replay of it. Okay,
I'm driving in the same van that I tricked out when I was playing with y'all like 3 years ago. I'm in that same big, obnoxious yellow or bright blue van.
So how else do you keep a game alive that long?
Hopefully you don't have to.
You add shit to it. I don't know. I mean, Destiny figured that
Do you get
shit
do you
out.
get money for people online playing? I don't think so. I think it's like after purchases, like you have to like pay your developers at some point, right?
I am a fan of season passes. I think Sea of Thieves is a game that does it incredibly well. They do
South Park Foreign Destroyer?
I don't know about that one.
Why do you infuse your bullshit?
Because you didn't call that one out specifically when you were listing games he can't talk about. I think Sea of Thieves does it incredibly. All their stuff is cosmetic. There's no game advantage. There's no pay to win. It's just you pay into the season pass, you get some extra cosmetic shit.
Can I ask a quick question and just go around the board? If PlayStation was gonna release an Game Pass type of service, what is the maximum amount of dollar that you would pay for that type of service for day one PlayStation exclusives? I would say $50 a month. That's where I would start.
Oh,
like,
damn.
That's
50?
expensive.
$50
Maybe
a
I'm
month.
bugging. Maybe I'm bugging. $35.99. That's still a lot.
That's
still high.
expensive.
That's still high, but I'll be the highest. Let's just I'll range it. Yeah.
All right. I was gonna say before you said only PlayStation exclusives, I was like, all right, I'd be willing to pay $30 depending on how far back. Imagine they put every fucking game, like the PS1 games, the PS. I'm like, all right, I would spend forever playing
For
games.
that
You know
for
what I mean?
that price, yeah. Because if I can go back to like the PS3, the PS2, yes, take Jim, Daddy, I will write you a check right fucking now. Like if I can play those games, yes,
Take me.
I would.
Take me.
Yeah, take me, Bayonetta style, baby. Give it to me.
You want to get spanked?
I just want some of those old games, man. Like that is a cool thing. I'm gonna admit I primarily play on PlayStation. I love the DualSense. I like their exclusives. They're my kind of games. I'm not saying they're better. They cater to me and what I like as a gamer. I think that Xbox's back compatible ecosystem is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. One of the things that is appealing to me right now about Game Pass is I can go and say, I can pull up this older game, and instead of firing it up on the PS3 and playing it on the world's tiniest fucking remote, I can play it on the Xbox remote and get some next gen benefits. I'm liking that system. But I would also pay money to Sony for a monthly fee, especially if I could get older games too. But I'm also a physical buyer though. I would still buy the games and waste fucking space. Why am I wasting space? Why am I wasting closet space on 400,000 fucking movies? I don't know.
That's a lot. I appreciate collectors though. I think collectors are so interesting because I have certain things that I collect, but like I'm not as hardcore into it as some people. My brother was super into Pokemon when Pokemon first came out, and he had probably 20 shelves in his apartment dedicated to just Pokemon stuff. Anything Pokemon that came out.
I'm not even trying to collect it. It's literally just I'm doing what I'm used to. That's literally all it is. It's just that's my consumer habits from being born when I was born. It's literally that simple for me. It's just, that's my habit.
I love the idea of physical stuff. I feel like as time has gone on, I remember I bought like a PS3 game, and when I opened up the case, the manual was like one sheet of like paper stock, like card stock paper. Like,
I hated that.
It was just like one
end.
thing was like, here's the art, and on the back was like, here's a fucking coupon to buy a DLC or something. And I was like, it's like, all right. So all I'm really getting is so like I started getting turned off. But for me, I do love the physical stuff. Like Mateo, I do appreciate collectors. And like some of my fondest memories in the world are like going to a friend's house and seeing like one of my friends, his older brother, one of my friend's older brother, every single week he would come home with like 1 or 2 PS1 games. And he had this shelf in his room that was just a bunch of those just like crystal cases, and I would just sit there and just pull games off the shelf and look at it and put it back in, and I could just do that forever as a kid. Like going to Funko Land as a kid was the most amazing, most magical place in the world. Just seeing shelves and shelves and shelves of games, like it was just beautiful.
Super NES, N64, PlayStation 1, game art, impeccable. Like, I love this so much. I have a pretty serious collection of PS3, PS2, PS1 games in like a storage unit. Very proud of it. Very proud of.
There's something about it being tangible. Again, that could just be when I was born and how I was raised, but I just feel like if I can see it and touch it and smell it, it means more to me. I don't know. I also like that I can loan games. Like my buddy, like, you want to borrow this game? I'll borrow that game. Great. Let's exchange games.
No, you're right. One of the biggest fears of my life, and it sounds really depressing because I have a kid and I got a house. I got a lot of things that I could be afraid of, right? Was I got logged out of my PlayStation account, and when I tried to log in, it just gave me like a weird error that I'm not familiar with. And I was like, oh shit, I got like 300 digital games on here. Like, if I don't log back into my account, they're just fucking gone. Like,
that's
and
scary.
that's another downside of the whole digital, the idea of like digital games. It's you don't really own this shit. Like,
so I'm not really buying into any of the NFT hype train. I think it's bad for the environment. I think there's a lot of concerns there. But
you read my mind though.
But
You read my mind.
if they worked NFTs in where I could resell my games or loan games to other people digitally, they might swing my opinion a little bit more favorably in favor of NFTs.
Yeah,
That would be
literally
fire.
read my mind. Because like if you, so all right, right now, the whole internet, I shouldn't say the whole internet because there's a big chunk of people, but that feel opposite. But the gaming space, it just feels like everywhere I look, everybody's shitting on NFTs. But there's a couple cool applications, I think. The idea of me being able to get banned off of an account or something like that, and just having some digital hash that represents what I own, like all the shit that I own, I could go and play that wherever else. Maybe that account gets banned, I could create a new, right, whatever. And just being able to like, okay, yeah, this hash represents all the bullshit that Pucho owns. Like I could like that, like I don't know, that sounds cool to me. Like, and of course, it's not that it's only solvable with NFTs. It's just like the idea of an NFT makes it, I think, easier to solve. Like another thing like that they brought up, I'm not even trying to make this an NFT conversation because I also find NFTs to be incredibly dumb, like 99% of the time. They're saying like one application's like you buy like all these skins or things like that through like this NFT like and that would have all the, like, for example, any games you play that are like, let's say an Epic game or something, like it'll have all your skins, and then it's like, all right, you play this other like car game, let's say, and all those skins you bought for like this, I don't know, your guns and some Call of Duty game. I know it's not Epic, I'm just talking bullshit. But you got all these skins that go on guns, and then you play this car game, and then all those skins you bought, maybe there's like some car variant of that thing. And it's like, again, with all these linked accounts, that is another way you could solve it without an NFT. But it's like again, it's one of those things like with new technology, there's always going to be new and unique ways to apply these things. I don't know. I find like the knee-jerk reaction of hating anything that has to do with NFTs and games like a little like weird. Like I know they're dumb, like the way that we've seen like, oh, this fucking video of a guy opening up a Pokemon card deck and getting a rare card sold for $57,000. You're like, what the fuck does that even mean? A video that
NFTs that we've seen them so far have basically been pyramid schemes. The problem is they're a solution looking for a problem to solve. I think that bringing the idea of lending games or reselling digital games would be one of the few problems I can think of that they would actually potentially have a good solution for. But that's a future topic. We're getting ahead of ourselves here. Cystal, I would love you to give a shout out to your show, because I think that if our audience is not familiar with you, they are doing themselves a disservice. So tell us what your show's about. Give our audience, give us the why, the elevator pitch on why they should give you a listen.
Yeah, I mean, the Game Junkie show is literally a community show. I just use my platform to help everyone have a voice, to help give them a place where they can be heard and they can be loved and accepted. And it's just, it's about bringing everybody together. Just people can come on the show freely. Indie devs can come on the show freely. It's literally, it's not really about me and my opinions. It's about all of us and ways that we can come together, understand where other people come from, have a chance to express ourselves, and just create a family who's in love with the medium and can just love and support everybody through all the differences of opinion that includes. So it's just me and whomever else wants to come on the show, and we just talk about whatever people decide we need to talk about. It's pretty simple.
I enjoy it. I think your ability to steer conversation and keep it on task and on topic and insightful is I'm envious of that ability. I think it's fantastic. Oh, yeah. You have some top-notch interviewing skills. You have some top-notch conversation steering skills.
Her hosting is impeccable. I've got to admit, like her hosting got me. I really appreciate your punctual.
Having been the only member of the One Up podcast that has made an appearance on the Game Junkie show, I could also attest. I was incredibly impressed by Cystal might have anywhere between like 2 to like 6 guests on her show, and it feels all the questions that she asks seem incredibly prepared. I mean, if you're used to us,
they're not. That whole thing is so made up.
We don't know what the fuck we're ever talking about.
We're a garbage can on fire floating down a river is what we are sometimes.
I'm not that different though. I really don't. I'm a very like on the fly person. I would normally encourage people to prepare, but the more I prepare, the more I overthink myself, and then I appreciate you saying that, but when people say something, that's what spawns my thought. It's like if I went into it thinking about what I want to say, that's counterintuitive of the reason I wanted to start the show. It's about what do people have to say? What does that spark in me that makes, so it's which you all have been on, by the way. Pucho's just been on twice, so he can brag. Pucho one up y'all's asses. So it's really like, that's really kind of the idea is people give me the inspiration on deciding what question I'm going to ask next, because it's coming from those people. And I actually love that. That's my favorite part, is I get so many perspectives on one thing. So every single episode I come out going, oh, that's something I didn't think of, or that's something I didn't know. That's what's so awesome about it.
And that's exactly what I'm going to say, is that it feels incredibly prepared. Like you're like, that's such a good fucking question. It's like, she she listened to everything that everybody said and she processed it and said, okay, this is where we're going to steer the conversation next. And it feels so planned. But then I'm like, wait, there's like 7 people and we're going into like 17 different tangents. And the thing that she's asking a question about isn't even related to the question she asked previously, because the conversation hit that many tangents. I'm like, there's no way this was actually prepared. And I found it incredibly impressive. I don't know how it is that you're able to listen to the nonsense that so many people are saying and then come up with such a such an understanding question, and that drives the conversation another way that it's just like that. I don't know. I found it impressive.
It brings
I don't know.
it brings it all together. It brings it into like you find like the essence of what everyone has just said in their little spiel. And you're like, oh, here's the golden question that relates to everything that everyone just said.
Exactly.
I kind of always been that way. I've just always been able to like parse out what people say and then quickly process a train of thought. I don't know. I guess that's just the way my brain is wired.
So where could people find you? Like, I know you're on YouTube, but where else?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube. My channel is just Cystal D Smith. I just wanted to be me. I don't have like a clever moniker or anything like that. And then on Twitter and Instagram, I'm C Smith Shine.
Cool. We're gonna have your socials, your information, in the description of every episode. So if y'all are interested, which you should be, just look in the description below. We'll hook you up with her.
It's a very flattering thing to say about me. Ellen DeGeneres is giving her show over to a straight person. She should have called me. I'm clearly a decent host. Like, somebody write Ellen. Ellen.
You're way more qualified than any straight person.
I'm just kidding. Kristen Bell's awesome. She's going to do well on the show.
Kristen Bell is delightful.
I love her. She's so funny. I love her.